My name's Jake Miller. I fix broken things, cars, mostly and sometimes hearts. He chuckled softly as he wiped grease from his hands and looked out at the empty road beyond the garage. 46 years old, divorced, no kids. One bay repair shop on the edge of a quiet town in Colorado with more debt than tools. His garage was one of those places people drove past without noticing, just like they did with him. It was nearly 8 p.m. The open sign buzzed faintly in the dusty window, though the last customer had come in 3 days ago. Jake was just about to lock up when he heard something, an odd sound. Not tires, not engines. A soft, hesitant shuffle. He stepped outside into the cool mountain air. That's when he saw her. A little girl, maybe 7, barefoot, shivering, her jeans torn at the knees. She clutched a stuffed bunny like her life depended on it. She was standing alone on the gravel, blinking through the wind. "Hey, sweetheart," Jake called gently, stepping closer. "You okay? You lost?" The girl nodded slowly, her voice barely a whisper. "I can't find my mommy." Jake's heart tightened in his chest. "Come on inside. It's warm in there." In the cluttered office of his garage, lit by a single yellow lamp, he wrapped her in his old flannel jacket and handed her a thermos of sweet, lukewarm cocoa. She held it with both hands like it was gold. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lila," she whispered. "Mummy's car broke down. She went to find help, but she never came back." But Jake didn't ask how long she'd been alone. He could guess. The mud on her jeans, the bags under her eyes. She'd waited a long time. He nodded quietly, grabbed his flashlight, and set out into the night. He walked the roadside for nearly 2 hours, calling out every few feet. Finally, just beyond the bend near Route 17, he found a silver sedan parked sideways off the shoulder. Slumped against the wheel was a woman, weak, pale, barely conscious. Diabetic shock. Jake recognized the signs. He called 911, stayed with her until paramedics arrived, and then rode back with them to the shop. Lila was asleep on the couch, curled in Jake's jacket. He stayed up all night, nodding off in a chair with a wrench in his back pocket and 1,000 thoughts in his head. By morning, he was sipping bitter instant coffee when a knock came at the door. Not one knock, several. He opened it and froze. Lined up along the road, stretching out of view, were luxury cars, Mercedes, Autos, a Rolls Royce, and standing in front of them, Lila, now clean and smiling, holding her mother's hand. Her mother was different in the daylight, elegant, poised. She stepped forward. "Mr. Miller," she said, "you saved my life and protected my daughter. I owe you everything." Jake raised his hands. "Mom, I didn't do it for..." "I know," she said, smiling. "That's why it matters." She gestured to the line of cars. "We run a foundation. These cars are yours. Fix them. Sell them. Use them to rebuild. It's all for you." Jake blinked. "You serious?" She nodded. Lila ran up to him and hugged him tightly. "You fixed my mommy," she said. Jake knelt, swallowing the lump in his throat. "No, sweetheart," he said. "I just did what anyone should have done." But deep down, he knew better. Not everyone would have stopped. Not everyone did. In the weeks that followed, Jake's life began to change. One of the first luxury cars he fixed was sold to a celebrity who shared Jake's story online. Suddenly, people came from towns away just to meet the mechanic who helped a lost little girl. But Jake didn't let the attention get to him. He stayed grounded until one day, a boy walked into his shop, 16, fidgeting eyes tired. "You Mr. Jake?" he asked. Jake nodded. "You looking for work?" The kid shook his head. I want to learn. You teach people how to fix things." Jake smiled. "I do now." That was Evan. Then came Teresa's son. Then Marcus. Then the twins from the shelter, kids who had no one to believe in them. But Jake did. He taught them with greasy hands, patience, and stories from under the hood. And they came back every day. Soon, his dusty garage became something else. It became a sanctuary. 3 years passed. Jake's place now had 2 bays, solar panels on the roof, and a dozen young people who saw it as their second home. The walls were lined with tools, hand-labeled by students. The break room smelled like burnt coffee and engine oil, but to Jake, it smelled like purpose. One Thursday, a young man stood across the street staring at the shop, thin, hooded, hesitant. Jake stepped outside. "Need help?" he called. The young man walked over slowly. Jake stared, the breath catching in his throat. Robbie. His nephew hadn't been seen in 10 years. The system swallowed him. Foster homes, juvenile detention, addiction. But here he was now, standing in front of him. "I saw you on the news," Robbie said. "Didn't think you'd want to see me." Jake pulled him into a hug. "You hungry?" Robbie nodded. That night they sat on milk crates, eating canned chili. Robbie didn't say much. But before he left, he asked, "Do you think you could teach me too?" Jake smiled. "That's what this place is for." The weeks turned into months. Robbie became a shadow, learning the same way Jake once had. Hands first, questions later. And then one day, Leela returned now, strong, holding a backpack and a folder. Jake opened the door and grinned. "You've grown," she smiled back. "I want to intern here." "Full summer? You sure?" he asked. "We don't serve lats around here." She laughed. "I'm not here for coffee. I'm here because you saved us. And I want to do the same." That summer, Jake's place thrived like never before. Kids came from counties away. Reporters returned. A senator visited. And through it all, Jake just kept doing what he did best, fixing what was broken. But even good things are tested. One fall afternoon, Jake received a letter. A real estate firm had purchased the land around the shop. They offered a buyout. The catch, Jake's place would be shut down. Jake stood before his students holding the letter. "They want the land," he said, "but we own the purpose." What followed was a community uprising. A student's live stream went viral. Donations poured in. Within 30 days, Jake bought a bigger lot on the edge of town. Jake's place reopened, bigger, better, and fully owned. 7 lifts, a mentorship wing, a garden in the back, and one old flannel jacket still hanging on a hook by the door. Jake slowed down. Diagnosed with early onset Parkinson's, he stepped back from the tools, but not from the mission, ran the shop now, even taught full time. And Leela, she launched Jake's Place Global, a program to bring mentorship garages to other countries. 15 years later, Jake passed peacefully in his sleep. His funeral was held at the shop, not in a church, not in a hall, just among the tools, the engines, and the people he saved. Leela spoke last. He wasn't famous, but he was unforgettable. He didn't chase wealth. He gave the world something better, a place to belong, a chance to rebuild. That night, beneath a quiet sky, a new sign was lit. Jake's Place, National Center for Mechanical Arts and Mentorship, and below it a simple plaque. He fixed more than cars. He fixed us. What to you outro's emotional subscribe message. Soft piano begins, garage ambience fades in, narrator. Sometimes all it takes is one quiet act of kindness to change everything. Jake didn't save the world. He just helped one little girl. And in return, the world gave him something money could never buy: purpose. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Because here at Kindness Talks, we believe the smallest acts can echo the loudest. Subscribe now and join us on the next journey where kindness writes the most powerful stories.